Good evening, and welcome to Too Soon to Tell Tuesday. Livingston man, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Looks like everybody got the notification.
Yeah, wow. I'm sure YouTube has the notifications flying off the shelves right now. Everybody's getting a notification that Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival is live. And it's true, because we're here.
Live.
Alive and live. Yeah, it's fantastic. How you doing, everybody? My mother Spark, Outlaw Jackson, my man Marco, Prepper Book Club, what's going on? Wolfang in the house, Magic, Ghost Lincoln, Tracy K, what's happening, everybody? I hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday. Mrs. B Local, what's happening? The whole B Local clan. What's up, guys and girls? How's everybody doing? Eric N1RV says, good to hear. All good after the flooding. Yeah, that's a topic that we're going to get into tonight. Tank Houston in the house. Love what you have done with the place. Post-apocalyptic cheek. Yeah, Livingston man dresses it up all the time, man. He keeps pulling things out. Timothy is a real boy. Congratulations, Timothy. And welcome to Too Soon to Tell Tuesday. Weather's been crazy, huh? We've had some, what do they call them, 1,000-year floods. But the funny thing is we had 1,000-year floods like a couple of years ago. So I guess now they're, every couple of year floods.
Inflation apparently applies to that too.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah, man. West Point got flooded out. They got like 7 inches of rain in just a couple hours. A few places up north, same thing, like 6 or 7 inches of rain. Vermont getting hammered right now. Gear guy, what's going on, my friend? Papa's Farm.
I mean, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I feel like that people weren't exactly ready for the amount of rain that fell. You had brought up something about how you almost can't predict the weather anymore. It's another new feature of it is that they can try, but then it just doesn't do what it's supposed to. Yeah. But this is just like when Buffalo got dumped on over the winter there.
Yeah, all the snow.
I felt like that there wasn't enough emphasis on this is going to be for real, everybody. And people were shocked by this. I mean, it wouldn't have done anything to change it by telling people, I don't suppose.
Right.
Or maybe it would have. Maybe they would have been a little more prepared and less lackadaisical.
Kathy Hochul, for all the crap I say about her, she was ringing the bell early and often on this thing, telling everybody that, take it seriously. We're going to get some serious weather, serious heavy rains. And the National Weather Service said the same thing. It's very fitting tonight. In the location, the brown bag. Yes. But yeah, Kathy was right. I hate to say that. You probably won't hear me say that again. But we have to be more prepared for these things because it's becoming way too unpredictable.
Like that sort of upstate New York monsoon season that tends to start right around the beginning of July. Kaboom, just like that. First one out the game pretty much.
Yeah.
And catastrophic flooding. Now, I guess you say, at least it wasn't a populated area. It's it's kind of caused a big bunch of problems, man.
Oh yeah, there's roads that are completely gone. I shared a lot of stuff on my personal Facebook today.
It reminded me when I think it was Irene.
Yeah.
Came through and washed out a lot of roads around here. It hit much closer, but same amount of rain, same deal. And I guess the only difference was that wasn't a hurricane.
This was just thunderstorms that came through with torrential rains.
I thought I said something about 5 or 7 inches of rain. That's crazy.
Don't worry, their forecast. There's rain in the forecast for the next 10 days. So the saturated ground is going to continue to saturate. It can't absorb anymore. The streams look like chocolate milk, all of them, even the small ones.
Oh yeah,
Everything's swollen right now.
Yeah, sure. Stuff's gonna start breaking its banks, and hillside, like if you get a steady downpour, you start looking into landslides, trees obviously falling down.
Yep, yep. Especially all that dead wood. I saw a lot of trees that had fallen just because of the rain.
Yeah,
there really wasn't a lot of wind with it.
They're just spongy and they soak up all that water.
Yeah, they get so heavy that they come down, man. It happens. It happens. But this is becoming way too common. I think we can all agree that the weather has become unpredictable and much more severe than it used to be. For us, it seems to be the heavy rains and the flooding. But we're getting used to the spots that flood. So we know flood-prone areas and we can do things to mitigate that. But in some places, you can literally get trapped because of floodwaters.
Yeah.
You can't get out. People can't get to you on roadways. Could be the case. So you have to prepare for those scenarios at home, guys.
Here in Columbia County, if that little bridge on that little road washes away, there's a real good chance that they ain't gonna fix it.
Very true. Very, very true. Trout Slayer, what's good, my brother? How are you?
It's whatever it is, but that they ain't got money for fixing the infrastructure on here. I mean, what is it? Bingham Mills Road. I didn't think did they ever put that bridge?
No. They just closed it and made it a dead end.
And they got the new one there, the Pleasantville Road.
Yeah, that's closed. Closed for good.
They don't fix them, so it's unless you're going to do it yourself, then you probably get arrested.
Livingston, man, everybody wants to know what in the world is in that
What's
bag?
in the bag?
What you got in that bag?
Come on, you guys.
Yeah, if you're going to brown bag it and you're in New York.
What's it going to be?
Yeah. I've seen Bud Light. No.
It's definitely not.
I don't think so.
It's a 40 ounce, if that helps.
Oh, it's a 40 ounce. Oh, let's hear it, folks.
It's a 40 ounce.
Place your bets. Ghost Lincoln says, I hope Hudson Valley Prepping got his boat all fixed up. Now, Ghost Lincoln, quick story about the boat. It'll start with a gagging me. Parabellum Prepper. Parabellum Prepper got it right.
I think Love and Life hit it first.
Oh, was it Love and Life?
Yeah, it's in Old English.
That's it. It is. It's an Old English.
800.
Angry Prepper says a laser. What's happening, my brother? Hey, good to see you back live tonight. For those that don't know, 9:00, the Angry Fellow's going live. Good to see you back on, brother.
Tell us about your boat.
So the boat, somebody made me an offer on the boat, and seeing as we have so much to build at the Hornet's Nest, I thought it would be a great idea to take whatever proceeds we got from the boat, which we had given to us, and put it into the building of the outhouse at the Hornet's Nest. So that's what happened to the boat. The boat is bye-bye, but it's gone to a good person, and it'll see the high seas and take some young folks on some adventures. So I'm happy about where it's going. But yeah, the boat project never got off the ground. Not even a little bit. Nope. Not even a little bit.
What you saw, what us do with the boat is what we did with the boat.
Yeah, that's
pretty much.
You had a boat for sale. Yeah, Outlaw. It was a bigger one. It was a rowboat, but it was trailerable.
It had I don't know what kind of hull you call that. It wasn't a
aluminum.
Flat bottom.
No, yeah, it was a John boat. V bottom, I guess.
It's a V bottom John boat.
Enjoying my Boylan orange soda. Boylan's makes some fantastic sodas.
Not kidding. So with the weather here, some challenges that poses besides just travel and getting around and stuff like that is if you are growing crops and stuff like this, too much water is no good either.
Eric, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the donation. I wish someday. Tank says, nope, it's Old E, Marco. Oh, it's coming out the bag. There it was, Old English. Oh, it's 42 ounces.
Oh, they give you a little extra.
Times have gotten tough.
It's for the homies,
give you 2 extra ounces.
It's for the homies.
Bob Dunn, good evening, my good friend. Good to see you. High Flyer, what's going on? Mike's Hard Lemonade. Nope, not tonight.
It's an Old English.
And he stole one of my Red Bulls before the live stream.
Let's talk about how does too much rain and just all this severe weather. It's not like any one storm, but it can be for sure. It's when they keep stacking up. They're
Yeah.
never, and especially government being in charge of fixing and like building back the infrastructure.
Ooh.
They can be extremely overwhelmed just by one of these events that isn't really that bad. Now, if they keep on coming, like if every single storm is this, or you know what I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's going to end America. Never mind, like New York State is not. It's a death by 1,000 cuts thing with this severe.
Oh, absolutely.
This city's destroyed by a hurricane. This city got nailed. This got wrecked. This, that, the other thing, and they're not fixing it or doing anything about it. You get this new, almost like industrial, like a wasteland Rust Belt type of thing. Like places just been
the factories closed down.
Yeah, the town just been devastated and never got built back again. You know. Like,
Tracy Mickle, glad to have you home. 9 nights in the hospital. I hope you're feeling much, much better this evening. Good to see you, my friend. Mike, did you get 3 million people? You should challenge people here. Be one of those 3 million. Yeah. Did you see that post I put up on Facebook? Yeah.
I've been doing that forever. I used to put out ads in the paper, like last day to send in your $1.
Yeah. Last day to send in your $1. Last day to send in your $1. It was, I got to get 3 million Facebook users to each send me $1. Hey, why not? Yeah. Pass the PayPal link around. I did get a couple donations. My mother Spark sent me $1. She believes in me.
And I suppose, you know, in other parts of the country, it'd be the opposite for people where not enough rain, or you know, I mean, in some places it's never
could see another dust bowl.
You talked about like Arizona and like these hot places. You know, the American Southwest, you know what I mean? And you mentioned like maybe people weren't exactly supposed to be living there, at least on the scale that they do.
Yeah, no, it's the modern conveniences that make living in some of these climates possible. You know, Roaming Prepper had reached out to me. It was over 100 plus down there for like 10 or 13 days in a row or something. That's crazy. That's crazy. People, you know, if you're outside in that and stuck outside in that, you're in trouble, guys.
And it used to be, well, it's a dry heat, and like really nobody's saying
that. No, they're saying it's too hot. They actually just did a study. I think we have an article on this, don't we, Livingston? I think they just did a study in, I think it was in Arizona about, no, it's the very first one. Yeah. This is it right here. You see the air conditioner is not very happy because that sucker be running full time, especially if you live in Arizona. So they, let's see, where is it? According to new research published this spring, a 2-day citywide blackout in Phoenix during a heat wave could lead to half the population, some 789,600 people requiring emergency medical attention. That is not a small number, guys. They have 2,800 people. They say 12,800 people could die because they only have 3,000 beds. And if that's just from what they say, a 3-day blackout, right? A 2-day citywide blackout in Phoenix during the summer. Once that infrastructure goes down, these places aren't really habitable, Livingston, man.
Especially not in the summer.
They're really not. In the wintertime, even. I mean, it's extremes down there. It's extremes, one extreme to the other.
Storms could also knock out power, cutting off access to life-saving air conditioning. Excessive heat killed 12 nursing home residents in Florida after a hurricane. The same year, the hundreds died in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria led to a months-long blackout. So we know for a fact that electricity and our access to the grid, like are maybe not our personally, you, my, but like our as people, like life
as a whole
revolves around this stuff working right. And if it doesn't, or if it's knocked out like completely,
oh yeah, we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble.
You have to start digging a hole. Like I think the new thing for humans might be to start living underground again.
Love and Life says, get your prep on. Enough said. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Here's MMS1 and OJ. Anyone else, I challenge you. My mother Spark. Thank you so much, sister. Exact Parabellum Prepper. If they have no power, we will have no fake meat.
I won't have it now. I seen it at the store. Even my wife was like, "Oh, what the hell is that?" They had it out front. They had it out front with the deli cuts, and I seen it. And I was like, "Oh gosh."
Tank, I agree with you, but it's the modern conveniences, man, and everybody's nothing's going to happen, everything's going to be fine mentality. that gets a lot of people killed. You know, it's the crazy prepper who's got all the stuff in his basement and stocks stuff in the garage, and he knows what he's doing. You know, works on his own cars, and he fixes all of his own stuff. And, you know, that's the guy that everybody's going to run to when the shit hits the fan. And they're in short supply, folks.
Yeah, and then he's going to be the bad guy because he can't, like, you know, take care of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll happen.
It's up to you to decide your level of openness about what you're doing if you're prepping. Careful who you let in, careful who you show around.
Yeah. In your inner circle should be your inner circle. I am fortunate to have a very good circle. And, you know, we don't share everything with everybody, but everybody knows that they're in a good position. And they should be able to take care of themselves and maybe a couple others if necessary.
Now, I've seen Big Stevie Ribs using it, and it was a cool idea. Is a lot of you guys maybe have like cordless tools. All of these companies are making the cordless fans now, and some of them even making misters for it. And like homie was just carrying it around like a boombox, and I'm like, this man knows how to live.
Yeah.
You know, somebody had mentioned in our Facebook group that if you're not a member of, you should join up.
Absolutely.
They were, you know, it's compared to the excessive heat. In my opinion, it's easier to prep for the wintertime. You know, you have to stay warm and do stuff. What do you do when you're ass naked, still sweating? What do you do now?
Yeah,
and
cooling towels are a big one.
Setting up or trying to get to like a body of water of some kind. Like
you need a cooling shelter almost.
Dense woods, where at least with a good canopy, it'd be a big deal.
Absolutely, stay out of the sun as much as possible. You know,
there's a reason those crazy Bedouin fellas from like North Africa they wear like those like black robes.
Yeah.
And like those dudes don't die in the desert, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. They
I don't know what it is,
and it cools them. And they're accustomed to the climate. That's a big thing. Trev, absolutely move at night if you have to.
Yeah, needlessly exposing your skin to the sun is actually worse for you than like wearing a big black cloak, I suppose.
Yeah. Jungle Ghost Survival. Welcome. Yeah, man. But, you know, again, we see things are getting more extreme for longer periods of time. Weather-wise, and we have to prepare for that. We have to prepare for these extremes. In some cases, it may be that you have a safety raft near the house because you live near a stream that could possibly take your home. I'd rather take my chances in a raft than getting sucked away down in the rapids. You know, it might not be the best way to go, but, you know, get out ahead of time. But water rises fast, man. Water is incredible. It's one of the most powerful forces on Earth. The tsunami in Japan that took out Fukushima and the earthquake, that was incredibly strong. To watch the video of that was just insane. It was just
that
insane.
Indian Ocean one happened on, maybe that was 2012.
Sri Lanka.
Right around like Christmas time. You know, like 200,000 people like dead.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
Right, like that's crazy. And,
but it's getting crazier, man, and we have to prepare for it as best we can. If you live along the coast, if you live in hurricane-prone areas, stock up, man.
What is that anymore? We get them here.
Bolster your preps for things like this. Ed Case, welcome. Tomcat's World says it costs much less to be prepared than it will after a disaster happens. Absolutely, Tomcat's World. You know, things like, you know, folks who hurricane prep and prep their homes for hurricanes typically have like pre-cut pieces of plywood for their windows and things like that. And it might be time for some folks outside of the normal area to start thinking about things like that. Get it while you can, get it while it's cheap. I know when hurricanes come through, plywood is a very hard thing to get because all the roofs have to be replaced and the houses need to be patched up. Tarps can become short supply.
Price gouging becomes a thing.
Yeah,
if you can find a tarp and some plywood, you're going to pay double for it. You're going to be putting restrictions on it, one per customer and shit.
Absolutely. And I know Angry's seen it. He's done the relief work, and you know, things are scarce, man. So if you can have this stuff ahead of time, it's going to make your life so much, I'm not going to say easier, but
okayer.
more prepared, I guess.
Tarps are a no-brainer. Like bigger the better. Like places like Harbor Freight and the other one, and I always forget the name of it. Ocean State Job Lots.
Yeah, any place you can get.
You can go there and get like nearly any conceivable size, and the price is like not that bad.
Yeah,
like
Walmart as well, man. You can get tarps
they got the
at Walmart.
rubber back canvas ones. Like, dude,
Oh yeah,
like build a house out this thing.
Now we're talking. Yeah, my mother Spark, things are still expensive now, and they say that inflation is still there. It's not as bad as it has been, but we all know it's still there. Our paychecks don't go as far.
Well, because when it stops or when it slows down going up, they say that that's progress. But it never goes back down.
No.
Like stuff doesn't become
stay where they are.
Cheaper. It's just,
very rarely.
They raise the price strategically, and then they peter out, and they're like, "Oh, it stopped, you guys. It's all cool.
Yeah, it's all good now. Eric, it's not just an underground or a secure place. It's multiple places. I'm definitely a guy who doesn't keep all of his eggs in one basket. I like to spread my stuff out. That way, if something happens, a house fire, God forbid, anything catastrophic like that, a flood, I'm only out so much, and I can still make do with some of the things that I have. You gotta prepare for this stuff, man. You gotta spread your stuff out, especially if you have family and friends locally, places you can stash a few things. It's like, hey, Livingston, man, could you, take this tote for me and just, stick it in the garage and
spread that attitude amongst your friends and family. Maybe
absolutely.
Folks aren't that into it. Like I made for Christmas, I presented my mother with like a 5-day survival kit.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
And that was her present. She unwrapped all the stuff. I wrapped every individual thing and I put it in this floatable tote.
Yeah.
So because I figured she'd keep it in the basement.
Right.
So if the basement flooded, the tote would float. And it's weather sealed and everything else. And it's what the heck is it? A Rubbermaid tough tote.
Oh yeah, with the lockable top.
Yeah, they're super cool totes, and they make those in a lot of different sizes, and they're really good.
Yeah,
I think they're double walled, so like I said, they'll float as long as it's not punctured or broken.
Yeah, or too heavy. If you're storing bricks in there.
Yeah.
Jungle Ghost Survival says always have a backup plan, secondary location. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Caches are king.
Yeah, bring your 20 by 30 tarp. I've been talking about I want to build a longhouse at the next camp, where we can see if we can get 6 people underneath a roof, do it old school like that instead of spread all over the place, taking up occupancy.
Yeah,
you got Lodge A and Lodge B kind of thing.
Absolutely. Kim Miller says 5 feet of water in my basement again, just like 3 years ago. Hey, Kim, I'm so sorry. It's tough, man. It's tough, especially if you got stuff stored down there or you had a finished basement. It can get really, really expensive. Texas Surplus Pro says he's digging the renovation, nice and close to nature. Absolutely. And that's something that I want to roll into here at some point, Livingston, man, is the whole scenario situation. It's been clicking in the back of my mind. What if, and I want to hear from you, and I want to hear from everybody in the chat. Let's picture the Red Dawn scenario. All right, let's imagine this. We see
wake up in the morning. There's just foreign troops.
Well, you wake up to loud noises, right? Turn into a pool, make lemons out of lemonade. Absolutely. But you hear the noises, you hear the booms. The booms that you hear are aircraft being shot down by American fighter jets, right? And you look outside and you see paratroopers coming in, and obviously they're all coming out of the back of these large cargo type planes, and you're seeing what looks like US fighter jets blowing these things out of the sky. What's your next move? That's my question. What are you doing right then and there? Because a lot of people have a lot of different thoughts about this.
Wow. Okay.
That's going to be a tough one, because if you're looking and you're seeing this everywhere, you're obviously now surrounded by whoever the hell is diving out of these aircraft, right? They're left, right, they're center. Dan H, that's a good question. We're going to just say it's unknown. We just see these planes coming down and paratroopers coming out. And they're obviously being shot down, but what looks like American aircraft.
I'm gonna let everybody
man,
talk their shit because what I said in the kitchen, I'm gonna repeat because it was some Patrick Henry shit.
Yeah, no, it's a tough scenario. You're surrounded, so you could look at that two ways. There's no way to really get out, or you're in a target-rich environment, we'll call it.
Excellent. We can fire in every direction.
So I think my first move is to try to get the family someplace safe, while grabbing my Joe Biden shotgun, because I live in New York and that's all I'm allowed to have is the double barrel shotgun anymore, right? Because, Kathy Hochul, we're just a double barrel shotgun. And it's me and my double barrel shotgun, get the family to safety, and,
up a cloud of
away I go to defend my home.
Imagine being the poor dumb bastard trying to come down my chimney.
But things are getting crazy, guys. And Yardbird says, surrounded, good, that simplifies the situation. Yeah. Yes, except for you've got your families, your neighbors, everybody's kind of in the way. So I don't know if, the first thing that you do, obviously, is grab a firearm and head out if you have one. Or you wait for direction from somebody who knows better. You know what I mean?
The government's going to tell you stay indoors and get off the roads. Just hide in your house.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And there's going to be traveling the roads is just an easy way to get taken prisoner or worse. Especially if you're driving around wearing that tactical vest, carrying that thing on you. You're going to get mistaken for, enemy combatant. You're going to get nuked by a mechanized assault vehicle. What I said, though, was, all right, so first off, this is where you start activating your network, right? Get up on the horn. People start getting up on rendezvous points.
As long as you still have communications, if something like this is happening, it's a good chance that your Facebook feed and everything else is going to be hours and hours old. And maybe not down, but stunted. So you're looking at old information and you're not getting anything new.
In any event, the overriding doctrine I would attempt to live by and inspire in others is that anyone with the absolute cojones to fucking come here in my backyard and try to take over my America is going to meet the proverbial gun behind every blade of grass. And we're going to live up to exactly the myth that we have built for ourselves. Yeah. And they're going to be fucking sorry they ever came here. Yeah. That's my... Now, whatever
I could not agree more.
Whatever has to go into all that.
Mid Georgia, yes, definitely. This is the Wolverine scenario, the Red Dawn scenario, and that's the name of the movie, Red Dawn. And there's a couple versions of it, the older one and the newer one. You can go Patrick Swayze or who's the other guy? I don't know.
But it's just to unequivocally and with no reservation, just resist at all turns, you're either cutting off the signposts or turning them backwards, painting them over. You're just messing everything.
You have to confuse everybody, man.
Taking down the power grid yourself, blocking roads, doing always make their life a living hell. You want to know what it's like to live in America? Here it is, asshole.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Just wreak havoc, right, Livingston, man? I suppose at some point you're going to encounter the paratroopers.
Who are here to do the same thing that I'm describing. Yeah. To be the first on the ground to seize key points, cause chaos, fucking cut the roads, cut the power, back shit up. Yeah. They're also, depending on who's coming in, those are going to be somewhat elite troops. Yeah. So the likelihood of a head-to-head battle, you're going to have to get a drop on somebody. And you still, I think, would have to be lucky. However, those who are taken out by civilians in the initial
contact, we'll call it, of Red Dawn,
We can.
you got to resupply from them immediately. Take everything that they freaking have. They may very well be booby trapped. I want y'all to listen to me on this. This is something that not a whole lot of people know, but I did a little bit of research on, and the Chinese have created helmets that have explosive charges in them. They can be detonated as a last resort to not be taken captive, or they can be detonated by a superior officer for somebody deserting or things of that nature. So it is possible that everybody that you come across could have a dead man switch strapped to their heads. Food for thought. Food for thought. So something to think about.
You'd have to really, really pick your battles if you were going to fight them at all.
Yeah.
And what you would have to do is become like
a guerrilla.
Right, but a legitimate one.
Absolutely.
And you would end up having to hook up with like American like real forces who could then like you like to think would help you out and give you stuff to carry on the fight. But let's imagine that this being America, they probably ain't going to do that.
Well, I'm just going to say that we're on our own. We're on our own, and if help shows up, they're just going to tell you to get the hell out of the way.
I mean, there's
the guy with the bazooka who tells me to step out of the way, son, I'm going to step out of the way. Just saying.
Like, can I have that?
Where were you a couple days ago?
But yeah, I mean, it's a fantastical situation because I feel like any enemy that's made it that far is very interesting. All right. So, I mean, if we're playing pretend, then let's. I like to think that, like,
the average Joe would get off their ass and, shoulder a rifle.
And for no other reason than to just feel safe on their way to wherever they were going, or to like, nah, hell with this. My time has come, and I'm going to shoot them sons of bitches right now. It came to my America. So who knows, man? But
it's a shitty situation. And there's families and there's homes. And I think those who don't actively resist the first wave and just kind of put their hands up will be the human shield that they use, if they use you at all. You are now basically hostages of a foreign nation or entity.
Right. You're going to be you're detained. You're going to be a detainee or worse.
Yeah.
You're going to what they'll call it's called a concentration camp, except they don't call it that.
Yeah. Re-education.
A detainment facility, but the refugee camp where there's typhus and disease so nobody wants to do that. So your only thing you can do is resist, and as an American, everything's off the table at that point. Yeah. This is what you're talking about is an actual invasion of our backyard.
Yep.
And that's when it's going to make sense to a lot of people what patriotism really means.
Absolutely. And being in states like New York, our hands are tied. We have limited access to things. Resupplying from the enemy for someone like us is going to be really important. We don't have access to grenades or fully automatic weapons or any of these things here in the great state of New Yorkistan, yet alone standard capacity magazines. These guys are going to be carrying bananas. The most used rifle in the world, I believe, is the AK-47.
Oh, sure.
So it's highly likely you will have that or some derivative of
right, they
that.
Have that. Is it the Russian gun guys in the chat are going to light me up, but isn't it the AK-74 now? It's chambered 5.45.
Something. Yeah. They're weird, but it's something to do research on. You need to know your enemy, guys. We need to know what could potentially wash up on our shores at some point. At least watch a video on the functionality of it, how to use it. Cause you never know. Texas Surplus Pro says, not initially, but yeah, the banned states are going to be in a way worse spot. Absolutely. That's why I think it's important for the folks in the heavy gun law states to do what you can and get what you can and resupply from them. But again, keep in mind, Chinese got helmets that explode, folks. It's crazy.
All right, so shoot them in the head then.
5.45 by 39.
5, yeah, yeah. Thank you. That's what I thought. It's akin to the 5.56, but the Russian version, just so they can't be interchanged.
More powder. But yeah, man, I think it's something that could happen, and I think it's important for you to think about your neighborhood in a tactical way. Think about where you could block roads if you had to. Even if it was just piling vehicles out there.
Making the enemy's life hard.
Absolutely.
You want to make them sorry they came here, and maybe they'll be pushing up daisies here on American dirt if they want to stay so bad.
Yeah.
But
if you're going to stay, you're going to stay forever.
Never miss an opportunity to remind the enemy that this entire endeavor was a mistake and he should have never signed up for it.
Absolutely.
If you can't break them physically, break them psychologically. Their morale, always attack them. Make them never feel like they're safe. They're never secure. The entire population hates them. Yeah. They can never turn their back on anything ever.
I'm starting up every vehicle I can find and putting Britney Spears on the radio and just sending it down the road with a brick on the gas pedal. Yeah, good luck to you.
If in this again, all these scenarios I'm talking about, are if a foreign power or even a non-foreign power, but a non-state actor with significant force to do so invaded the United States, I think that all of us promptly, a meme about how like guy tries to rob Texas gas station, gets shot by
everybody in there. Yeah.
So that would be what I hope that America in general would bring to any foreign adversary in that regard, is like, you should have never fucked around, bro.
Yeah. See, the roaming prepper's on it. He went through the utility roads in his neighborhood to understand where they lead and what the terrain is. And Texas Surplus Pro says even passive resistance is an option. Active resistance may not be feasible for many, especially based on your location. Absolutely. And I think
passive resistance means just don't comply.
Yeah. I mean, if you are ready to die on a hill, so be it.
Whatever they ask you to do,
give them hell.
If they make you do something, just do it wrong or do it slow or whatever, but just make their life hard, is all. Like, what you have to do is it's never okay for them to be here, and they should have never come.
Yeah, very true. Faith, Hope, and Charities Homestead, welcome. Good to see you again, sister. But yeah, man, the way the world is going, this is a possible outcome of things. Highly unlikely, but possible.
Yardbird, and then I'll repeat it just louder in the same English. Yeah.
Have an exit strategy, folks. Have a place to go. That's I would say, I don't know, at least 40 minutes away from where you are now.
And you perhaps have to be, if you're going to stand your ground or you're going to take off, right? And what you might want to do is, whatever you can't bring with you or whatever you feel again might be of use to the enemy, you got to destroy it. What I recommended was to sort of rig the whole thing to blow as soon as they get to the middle of it, whatever that means.
Trout Slayer says winter is coming. Yeah, and I think that would be the best time for something like that. No leaves on the trees. They can see the ground really easily, especially paratroopers, things like that.
Plus these upstate New York fucking deer hunters, you ain't gonna, tree stands everywhere. It's gonna be the trees are shooting at us.
They can't wait to take the orange off.
We're about to give it back to Charlie. How do you like it? Yeah.
Eric 1NRV, absolutely, my friend. You guys are welcome. If it goes down, Eric ain't too far from us. But yes. But the Livingston wants to know if you can hear him. The roaming prepper says the paratroopers would land on a damn cactus out here.
There's if you're worried about paratroopers, which honestly, nobody's really doing that. Paratroopers are not a thing that you're gonna see descending on your.
Probably not.
First of all,
there would be a huge kinetic strike.
It's called aerosol, and they come in
something like that.
They come in helicopters.
Yeah, but they soften the target first with your tomahawks and everything, right?
The United States military does. The rest of these guys don't know how to fight a war. oh, good. Yeah, look what Russia can't do.
Yeah, very true.
And
very true.
It's China going to step out with all this cool hardware, and then they're going to realize, oh, fuck, it's made in China. All turns to shit.
Right? Trout Slayer's got a point. He says if they jump, it will be at night.
Yeah. And you're talking about Halo. Okay, fine. Like, I ain't fucking with those dudes. And secondly, I will never know that they're there. But yeah, you're talking about great massive air assault. You're in the thick of the shit. There's a chance that this combat zone's already been evacuated of civilians.
You would hope
the Chinese military is not dropping in on the local Hannaford. Okay,
I don't think we would get a heads up from the government. Honestly, I think we would know about it when we saw it happening, and then we would find out what's happening later on.
The Biden administration would indeed let them fly their spy invasion fleet over most of America before they did something.
Holy soldier, what's good, my brother? Yeah, and let's see. Trout Slayer says, Lady Smith, you're definitely right. Drones are the new age of war. China has what looks like howitzers or a rocket battery that just launches these Switchblade drones. I think it carries like 40 of them or something. They've got tons of these things. I also know that the U.S. government has successfully launched drone swarms from FA-18 Super Hornets in flight, and they can just drop all these things and they go wreak havoc.
The new thing is what is it? I don't know. The next generation air weapon or something that they call it. It's going to have these. It's going to be like a mothership that's the fighter jet
that can fly all these drones.
It's going to have these little drones with it. Dude. Yeah, like it's independence.
Now, when they say little drones, that could be anything from say like a Reaper drone, a Predator drone, any of those type of drones. They could totally fly. I think with the F-35s right now, they can fly right along with them already. So the technology is there. It's how wide scale it's implemented. Veda, what's good?
As a patriotic American, I know hope is not a good plan. So what I'm going to use is the catch-all. I like to think.
He likes to think
that the United States military is fucking indomitable. I don't care who you are, how much money you want to dump into your armed forces.
If you come here.
You don't even have to come here. We will come to you. How you doing? We're there, and you can't believe you didn't see that coming, idiot. I watched Russia smash into Ukraine and then just fell down like Joe Biden trying to get on an airplane. I said, you have got to be effing kidding me. If the United States actually felt like destroying Ukraine, it would have happened in about 72 hours, and it would have been over. They'd have been like, we don't got nobody to sign the surrender document, bro.
Shock and awe, baby. Shock and awe.
We don't even know anything. The lights went out in the first 5 seconds, and it shit ain't been good the same ever since. You know what I mean? So China, Russia, India, please. The overriding real scenario is that this scenario is never gonna happen unless we've been seriously had our asses kicked already, and then you might want to consider counting yourself among the dead.
Well, hey, I may end up among the dead, but
I'll give them
hell all the way.
When they get into figures of like a 1 billion dead, start counting actually who you think is going to make it and who's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only 8, so 1 in 8 people.
What was it? They said that 90% of people would die the first year of a grid down. So that's it. Pick 10 people that you know, and you are the last one left, or one of them is the last one left.
When you start talking numbers like that, you have to really start being like, this is probably futile. Maybe I should just go out doing something awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no reason. Tip of the spear, man. Tip of the spear.
I can't imagine it panning out for him. I don't know who. America has not been invaded by. Well, how the hell does white folks get here? Well, at any rate, see, they ain't never gonna let that shit happen again. You ain't coming here. You can't come here. Who?
I think it'd have to come from Canada and Mexico. They would have to be in on something.
And now you're talking like Monroe Doctrine stuff, where any threat against either one of those, America will automatically intervene and say,
Yeah, but it's not necessarily a threat against them. They could just come in and potentially be bought out by the Chinese or the Russians or whoever.
Still Monroe Doctrine
and
stuff.
just
Even South America,
get
we
yourself
kinda
in
like,
there.
Don't come here.
They're there. They're there.
How many wars can America fight, or how many adversaries can we take on? Kind of a lot. We've been doing this a long time.
Well, that's the thing. We're a global military. And kind of everybody's problem with us is that we're a global military too. Like, bro, what are you doing all the way over here? Don't you live all the way over there?
Well, it's like we're like the cops. Right?
Yeah.
Damn, you guys.
We're definitely the world's
man. Y'all don't miss nothing, do you?
Police force. And you see what happens, man. They've been fighting back against them cops.
We know shit, dude.
And we're the world's police force.
We act like we don't. Like when that submarine went down, last I'll ever speak of it, I hope, is that
okay.
The Navy heard that thing blow up on their like sonar phones. They have microphones at the bottom of the ocean that listen for submarines.
Yeah.
Now, a quick Wikipedia search, and you can actually like find this out. But most people just don't know that we have that. But
I think it's far more sophisticated than what they say.
Of course it is. So like they were like. They knew what had happened, but they couldn't just come out and be like, we know exactly what happened, where it is, and every other thing. Because that's like telling you how thick the armor is on your tank. Like so the secretiveness of it speaks to like how much we actually know. Like, I mean, we can. That's how drone strikes work. They can just find a guy they don't like and shoot the missile. They don't shoot it at him. They shoot it at
especially if you have a digital signature. That's the big thing.
That's the big deal with burner phones and couriers and everything else. If somebody's going to catch a missile up their ass, it's the courier.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
But with this, we can do this and have been for how long ago was 9/11? Because wait a second, how long ago was World War II? Wait a second, how long ago was World War I? America has been at war for its entire existence in one form or another against another.
We had to fight for it. So.
We fought them all. We fought the Native Americans. We fought the British. We fought the French. We fought the Germans. We fought the Italians. We have not exactly fought the Russians.
Not head on.
We fought the Chinese in Korea. We fought the Koreans in Korea. We fought the Vietnamese, the Japanese. We fought the Middle Easterners. The only people we ain't fought yet, I think, is the fucking like Australians or some shit.
And the Russians. Yeah.
And the Russians, just because the Russians are like us, but Russians ain't fought nobody except.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going down between us and Australia. We're pretty tight. We're like building nuclear powered submarines for them so that they can take over the role in the Pacific, so that we can keep an eye on North and South America.
When it comes to war, America is the most experienced and the most technological. If we're not the most technologically advanced, we still win the game because we know how to use our equipment. First and foremost, better than anybody. Like I said, China can come out with this latest and greatest shit that promises the world, but like it still takes years for them to actually use it and to learn how to do it right. Or in some cases, some of the greatest innovations on the battlefield are when the soldiers, they give them this sophisticated thing and they learn how to do it wrong.
Yeah.
But they're like making kills with the thing. Like,
yep.
That's
when
they shoot the tow missiles, they shoot them straight up in the air and then they bring them down on top of the tank. That's not originally was not.
No, they're supposed to straight into the side of them.
Right. But then they realized real fast that didn't work. And so that we have light years against any adversary.
If it ever came to it, I would hope that they would open up the special shit garage and let it wreak havoc on them. That's when you see the UFOs for real.
It was us.
Oh man, they all have American flags on them.
We knew it was you.
Son of a bitch. I knew it the whole time.
Werner von Braun's back from the dead. I did this. I built this. It was us always.
Let's see. Wolfang says, watch out for the Karens. Yes. In any type of invasion, you're going to have sympathizers and Tories and turncoats, people who think it's in their best interest to, let's just talk to these guys. Let's just go talk to them.
Okay, fine. Okay, yep. And that's where I'll draw the line. You can talk to them. You can ask them like what they and make them justify themselves.
Who are you?
After that, it's collaborator, and you get your head shaved and you're tarred and feathered. We don't hurt people because that's what the enemy does, but we'll never let you live down the shame. You know what I mean?
That's it. Faith Open Charity says they can live outside. Bye, Felicia. Yep. Get
When this war is over, you're going to take that coat off. And I can't abide it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, there will be a lot of that, especially from the folks who can't run or won't run, or, you know, there's a lot of people who would be like, oh, we had this coming, you know, I'm with them.
There's going to be people who are, all right, now, and then, okay, this is like blaming someone who was forced into cannibalism.
Right.
If, I guess I can stand here and be like, you should die before you should submit, but like that's definitely not always realistic. Okay.
Right.
Now, if a person didn't lay down their life at the front door just because the Russians showed up, all right, that doesn't make him a fucking traitor. But if you start working with them and you start telling them who like people are and like, you know, that's when it turns into some shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
rescue, welcome, my brother.
It's a rat. It's a narc.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No different than it would be any other time. You know what I mean?
Snitch, narc, rat, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. Exactly. Traitor is what I would call them.
And unfortunately, you're that's in your scenario, like that would happen. It's going to happen. From the damnedest of places, you'll be like, I can't believe he did it.
Yeah.
I can't believe he did that.
Very, very, very true.
Now I can't look now I gotta turn my back on you.
You're no longer in the family.
No, I can't even look you in the face.
Tony says, Zombieland, cardio. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you guys think about physical fitness?
It sucks, bro. It sucks. It hurts me. It makes me sweat. Yeah.
You know what
Not a fan.
hurts and makes you sweat? Not being physically fit.
Yeah.
And I'm not bragging because I am physically fit. I hurt and sweat. Now, these gym people, these exercise people, they ain't wrong. You think fucking my ass hurt from walking up and down the stairs 3 times. I'm going to put on the bulletproof vest and strap the AR and go to war.
No, you're going to have a heart attack on your way out to the front lawn.
They're coming to me. I don't have time for this runaway shit. Like, I'm just standing and fight because I'm just too tired for this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, okay? No. I've been dreaming of this day my whole life. Let's get it on.
I like the Inglourious Bastards. I thought it was a cool movie. Of course, it was an alternate history, wildly like a bit fantastical, but still, Eli Roth like running the like on point with the special effects. When he's that dude with the bat.
Boater Fisher, dude, what's good, my brother?
Make you ask yourself, am I ready to do some shit like that? Depends on how bad you piss me off, honestly.
Boater Fisher, dude, says, don't throw away your life. Live to fight another day.
That's exactly it.
Now, there are folks who will be taken captive, or however you would call it, during a situation like that.
Detained.
Right. We'll call it detained, who would have to work from the inside out. And
that's called fifth columnists.
Yeah. You have to have some good people on the inside if there's any hope to get out. So
fifth columnist.
If you get caught in a situation where you can live to fight another day, or pick your opportune time to have a go at it, you know. So it's not always a draw your weapon and this is it. Fight another day, Boater Fisher, dude. Absolutely, and people are going to have to do that.
You're going to get those people who are, you're going to need the frontline patriots who.
Yep.
And who that is, and
Foxfire, welcome.
What I figure, though, what you were just talking about, like pick your time and your moment and stuff. Tom Clancy novels, bro.
Okay.
I think it was in The Bear and the Dragon. How do I make this short? Because the book is like 2.5. So whoever it is, like they run across this old Russian like farmer that's like a sniper in World War II, and they knew that this Chinese general that was coming with his tank brigade was like a prick about it, and he'd stand up out the front and be all And so they went to this like 90-year-old dude and they handed him a rifle. You're like, you ever shot a general before? And they let the old boy have the shot. Sometimes that's
how it gets done.
And that's how they smoked him. They let the old man do it. Like
Tracy Nichols says, I'm sure it's supposed to be fit. Be as healthy as you can. Absolutely. Boater Fisher dude says, fight on your terms, not theirs. Absolutely. And there's lots of manuals. There's lots of things that you can read.
There is one manual.
One real
The
good
Art
one.
of War by Sun Tzu.
Yep, that's a great one.
If you have never read that, it is not just
Get the audiobook, man. If you don't do reading, at least listen to it.
It's not for war. It is for life. It is sort of like I don't want to blaspheme, and I don't mean to. If I do, it is an alternate Bible. It is like another like book of like how to life when applied properly. Essentially, the grand idea of the thing is to actually never seek battle. Never fight.
Yeah,
Make the term so
unacceptable
to your enemy that it's not worth the fight.
Absolutely.
It's lie, cheat, steal, everything. Like make them think that everything is fake, and everything they think is fake is real, and complete deception to the point where the enemy has no room to stand, and his entire operation is nothing.
It happened on my live stream the other night too. What's going on? What happened? My stuff all messed up? Everybody's sending me messages.
I'm seeing nobody here.
No, we're good. We're good.
I did notice a bit of like a glitching going on. But I'm sorry if that happened.
Solar flares are real, guys. They're real. They're really happening.
I own the Art of War actually in a hardcover edition.
Oh, fantastic!
And another like there's study versions of it, just like you can find the KJVB.
Okay.
Where it kind of like helps to contextualize what he's talking about. Some people think that Sun Tzu wasn't a person, but instead a council.
Could you take that down so we could see the screen? Yeah. No.
Everything's fine here. I don't know what happened to you guys, but
very interesting. You comment too much a certain period of time or say the same thing, they automatically pause YouTube. Ooh, man, that's not cool.
Another books, especially because books don't rely on technology at all. As long as you don't set them
they're
on
always
fire.
there.
If you don't set them on fire and don't get them wet, they'll be fine.
Yeah, your prepper library, man. You got to stock up on good books.
Try to find yourself, if not the Field Manual 76.
The survival manuals, yeah.
I have a Field Manual, the 2002 edition of the Survival Manual.
Okay.
It's got a whole... It's greatly expanded, and it has like color photos of like edible plants and animals and stuff.
Okay.
Inside it, but an Army Survival Manual. I would recommend the Boy Scout Manual if you are a little new and like super basic to like everything, right?
Right.
But it's easy to make things make sense to you instead of a more militaristic way. If you're a civilian,
right,
with no military experience,
this is going to be a great asset to you. Man, there's lots of good field manuals.
Books are progress proof. Books.
The Ranger Manual, that's another good one.
Yes, books do, and there's I have a U.S. Army Special Forces medical manual. If necessary, I can whip out the book and extract your tooth. It's gonna hurt you a lot more, and it's gonna hurt me. But
yeah,
I know you can do it. Okay, like some of this stuff, like. It's one thing to like not know it and have never tried it. It's another thing to have been like, I've seen this done or I read about this once.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how far that can go in an emergency without being reckless. Okay, like don't try shit at home. Okay.
Yeah. The Foxfire books, absolutely.
The Foxfire books are absolutely amazing.
Stock
you want to know
the
about
library, man. Stock it.
We've mentioned
edible plants, animals, anything
how to
like
do
that,
everything.
man. Yes.
Pioneer bush. Talk about the original bushcraft. It's when you showed up, got your little plot of land, and you had to clear it, build your house.
Yeah, out of the trees that you cut down.
Yeah, the Foxfire books are amazing, and I dare you to find like actual ones. You got to go to flea markets and shit to get them. Maybe they got reprints. I'm sure.
Roaming Prepper said there was a search and rescue class in Texas I'm trying to get into. Yes. A few of the guys in my group have done the DEC search and rescue here in New York State. Fantastic class. You can learn a whole lot there, especially if you're missing someone and you need to find them, how to do that.
Yard sales are a great place to find good books.
Books, cast iron, cookware, old hand tools.
Stuff that is non-electrified. Yes, it requires effort to use it, but when the day comes There's no electricity.
Yeah, you're going to be awful glad that you had that hand drill there, because you really need to drill that hole in there to fix it.
Some of us are old enough, and I'm barely pushing the limit, but of course, some of us are old enough to remember, like, our daddy teaching us how to, like, use a saw.
Yeah,
Screwdrivers
Oh.
used to be a thing,
Yeah, that's why they loved nails back in the day, because screws by hand really sucked. The Resistance Operating Concept by Adam C. I'm not even going to attempt to say that last name.
I think it's Fiala. Well, I figured,
Fiala.
But yeah, guys, look into like books, just for the simple reason that they don't need electricity.
Yeah, they're always going to be there.
And it's a thing you can learn from it. If you're out on a camp, man, bring some books with you. I know the Militant Farmer always does, and I was like, that's such a great idea.
Yeah, man.
Because rather than sit there like at night, like trying to read your cell phone, just read a book. You're still gonna end up like passed out with it on your face.
Absolutely. Let's see. My mother sparked this. Said, "Did y'all see the massive sunspot?" I did not, but I did hear that.
I saw it with my own eyes. I stared right at it.
There is a good chance for X-class flares in the coming days. So, hey, man, get it while you can. Make sure your preps are up. I've seen it said in here tonight: stock the water.
You know what annoys the absolute shit out of me?
Aside from, go ahead. Go on.
The big effing deal used to be EMP this and EMP that, and everybody's CME this and CME. Yeah. I wonder what the next stupid acronym is going to be that everybody's afraid of. But you know what they all boil down to? They all boil down to either one of those destroys the electrical grid, and that's the big problem.
Yeah.
As modern humans in a first world country, if you're from America,
yeah.
If you're not, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Our electrical grid dictates our way of life. Without it,
absolutely, everything is much harder,
and we'll turn feral real fast.
Yeah,
because we're just not used to it.
Yep. And those, I think, who can regress the easiest are probably the homesteaders and folks who are set up to be off grid.
Or folks who even already are, like your Appalachian, your hillbillies and your hicks and your rednecks and stuff. But it's diehard city folks, not diehard, born, raised, bred like city folks.
Yeah,
they're gonna get fucked with when this whole thing happens, man.
Yeah, big time, because it's going to be such a shock to them to be without all of the things that they've known their whole entire lives. And all of us here today have never known life without electricity.
But your great grandmother did?
Sister Marie's Kitchen says, what form of books would you suggest? Thumb drive, PDF, hard copy? Hard copies, absolutely.
Real books. I don't know if you maybe ever saw one.
No, Sister Marie's a book nut, I'm sure. But yeah, home copies, man, you got to have them at home. You got to have them in the library.
And you know why this is important is the older or the more like original version you can find is it's what the author actually said.
Yeah.
There's a thing where they're whitewashing and changing, censoring,
lots manipulating. Of stuff, man. Lots of stuff.
What the new version of the book says is like kind of not what the original version says.
Yeah, it can totally get twisted. Tracy Mickles says, sewing books and supplies, collect good scrap materials. Absolutely. You got to mend your clothes. When the factory shut down, it's on us, man. It's on us.
100 years ago or less.
Everything was done by hand.
And to this day, somebody out there is doing it. People didn't buy new clothes. They fixed the ones they had. You darn your socks. You mend your T-shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to take up your jeans or let out the hem. Right?
A little bit of this requires at least trying to imagine what it would be like without this instant gratification. I'll just get a new one. I'll just throw it away.
I'll just order one on Amazon.
Yes, attitude.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is going to be, Livingston, man. Now, everything has been made disposable. Everything is disposable. Very, very few things are fixable. Right? So we're going to have to be, a little ingenious on how to make some of these newer things work again when they fail. Just saying, everything's disposable nowadays. So, It's going to take a crafty mind to figure them out. Or somebody who's just really bored. You know, you've got no electricity, you've got no nothing, you've got nothing but time now, nothing but time.
Our task as preppers, all right, homework.
Living homework time.
Assigning homework. Let's imagine.
Okay. I'm imagining.
That we just don't have.
We don't have.
Any, look, the electricity. The electricity is gone.
Sure.
What I want people to do is really break down exactly what that would mean. Not just in your house, like, oh, the power's out, it's coming back from 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like
you're not getting any gas from the gas station because the pumps are down.
It's complete, like, you do not have, like, now Outlaw Jackson said at one time, he's like, yo,
Angry Prepper, have a great night, brother. We'll see you at 9 p.m. for the Angry Prepper live stream.
Outlaw Jackson said, he's like, if everybody wants to see what it would be like, it was a pretty hot day. It's kind of like it was today. He's like, everybody wants to see what it's like. He's like, flip the main breaker in your house.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
Yeah, then you're going to know. You're going to go to the faucet and turn it on and nothing comes out because your well pumps off. If you have town water, you may still have water, but that's about it. You got water and sewer and that's it. And in a town, if the whole grid goes down, you've only got water until the pressure runs out.
They start talking about boil water notices, and then like, how are you going to do that if you can? So let's all try to imagine life without, like,
the modern conveniences.
Well, I almost called them conveniences, but to a lot of us, they are the
life
essentials.
Sustaining. Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine what that would be like. I mean, if you're in a place where it's really hot right now, and if you're in America, it would seem to be most places.
Yeah, it's scorching.
Just turn your air conditioner off and just hang out in silence with no phone and no music and no TV and no nothing.
Yeah, in the dark in some cases, or whatever battery operated things you have.
And you start to understand why these, like, old timey folks, like in the 1800s, like, they wrote diaries and drew pictures. Yo, it was bored as fuck.
Very true.
They had to do something until they got tired. They had to make sure to blow out the candles, or else they set the house on fire.
Don't forget to blow out your candles, guys.
You know.
But we've gone way over limit tonight, and I want to thank y'all for being here. Make sure you're prepping up, guys. Things are crazy.
However it is you're prepping up.
Yeah, do it to the fullest.
Stick to your plan.
Don't put it off another day. Get cracking. Get it done. Get it out of the way. It's security, it's insurance, and unfortunately, I think we're going to need it. We're going to need it.
However it is you're going to make that bed, though, make sure you're ready to sleep in it.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And the Roaming Prepper said it. Smash the like button before you go, folks. Really appreciate it. And I'll see some of you at 9 o'clock on the Angry Preppers live stream. Y'all have a great night. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. We out of here.
We all going to die Wednesday. Tomorrow, 7:30.
Woo!